What's up guys, XM360 here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Arotek Laser Projector Light. So this one's going to be a lot similar to the Series Road Laser Projector Light that I recently did. This one is a bit higher end. It does do moving laser lights, which the Series Road did not do, and this one will run you about $80 on Amazon. So I have the green and blue model right here, and that's $80. They also have a red and blue model for $80, a green and red model for $66, and a red, green, and blue model for $140. So I did get this for free from the company to do a review. This is one of those newer projector lights that a lot of people are using in the place of normal standard Christmas lights when decorating the home. You basically just stick it in the ground and it projects a ton of little laser dots onto your house or whatever you want to point it at. So this right here is going to be the remote, and it looks to be the same exact one from the Series Road one as well. I believe they're made by the same manufacturer, and the remote also has a little antenna on the top to help with range because you would be using it in your yard. So I'm going to peel the little protective plastic off of this remote. The remote takes two AAA batteries, which are included. And one thing to note is that this laser projector does not use batteries. It does require an outlet, so you will either need to find a nearby outlet or use an extension cord, because the power that these lasers draw, it would just kill a battery too fast. So I'm going to move on to the laser spike and module itself, and those two get attached to one another using an Allen wrench, which is included. And both the laser module and the spike are complete aluminum, which is nice. I have seen some other brands use plastic spikes before, and they often will bend or break, so it is very good that they used an aluminum spike in a full metal construction. And this spike and laser appear to have some sort of black coating on the aluminum too to prevent rust, I would imagine anyway, because this is an item that is water resistant and to a certain extent waterproof. It is meant to be used outside, and it can get rained on. It's meant to be like they call it a garden light, but it's a laser projector light. And it can also be called a Christmas light because a lot of people use them in place of these standard Christmas lights. It's a lot easier to set up. So this is going to be the laser module itself, and this is going to attach to the spike, which I'll show in just a moment. There is like a little laser safety label on this that warns you that you shouldn't stare directly into the light because it can cause eye damage if you stare at it for too long, or it is a laser light, so you do have to be a little bit careful with it. And then this piece that I'm holding right here is just going to be the little adapter that goes into the outlet or the extension cord. You basically just plug the power cable into that piece, and then you use a little screw piece. I'm not sure why it comes separate like that and why it's not just one whole piece attached to the cord, but as you can see, you just plug it in and then you screw on this little piece that's on the wire, and that holds it all together nice and tightly. And once you have that put together, the only other thing is you're going to need to attach the laser module to the spike. So that's where this little Allen wrench comes into play. The screw that you use to attach it is already screwed into the top of the spike, and there's a couple of washers on there too, and they're very small, so be very careful with that. Don't lose those little washers. I usually try to do this holding it sideways or upside down so I can catch those little washers in my hand. So I will speed this up for you guys. Once you have that one screw undone, you're then going to hold it in your hand and try to keep the washers on the screw so that you don't lose them. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to line up the little hole on the bottom of the laser module with the hole on the top of the spike, and once you have them lined up, you're then just going to put that screw with the one or two washers on it through both of those holes, and you're going to try to maybe screw it in a little bit with your finger so that it stays in place, and then use the Allen wrench to screw it in nice and tight. And I realize I'm probably doing a terrible job of showing you guys this here, but this part's pretty easy and self-explanatory. I'm actually just holding the screw steady with the Allen wrench and turning the spike in order to screw this in, but you can do it either way. Once you get a nice solid connection and that's fully screwed in, I usually leave the spike on there at all times. I don't disassemble it every time I'm done using it, so for most people this will be the only setup you really have to do, and after that it's completely set up forever. And then on each side of the laser module there's two little screws where you can use the Allen wrench to tighten or loosen it so you can hold the laser module in one position. But the way they ship it to you, it's kind of at just the right tightness where you can move it up and it'll stay up, and you can move it down and it will stay down, but it's not difficult to move either, so I don't really mess with that. And I'm going to take a look back at the remote now. This has several different modes. It is a green and blue laser, but you can single out the colors to be just blue or just green if you wanted. The little dots are moving dots, and you can also select them to flash. And you can increase the speed of the flash, and you can also increase the speed that they rotate. And you can also set this up on a timer if you wanted it to automatically turn on or off. And right here I'm just inserting those two little AAA batteries that are included with this, and we're going to go outside and test this out right now. So I have the Arotek Laser Projector Light all set up, and this is actually a good scenario because it is raining out a little bit right now, so this will also test its water resistance. And I have it plugged into my garage right now, and the cable, I don't know, is maybe 10 or 15 feet long. It's somewhat long, but you're probably going to need an extension cord for wherever you're going to want to use it. And I'm just going to turn it on right now and see if it works. And it is working. It's projecting a bunch of little tiny laser dots onto my house, onto the side of my house, and they are green and blue, and they are rotating. And you can see the lights coming out of the laser module right there. So their Amazon listing says that this creates over 1,000 points of starlight that cover over 600 square feet at a distance of 25 feet. And they also say that it can be used in rain, frost, sleet, sunlight, and even snow, and in temperatures as low as negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And one thing that I do want to note is that I'm looking at the view on my camera, and it's not really picking up all the dots that are visible to the human eye. It looks a lot more impressive in person. The dots are brighter, and you can see a lot more of them, and you can see the movement a lot better. But the camera does help show it a bit. And I'm going to try out that color mode right now. I can set it to just blue, just green, or both colors, and it definitely does look best with both colors. And in all three of those modes, the little dots are still rotating. I'm going to try out the flash mode now, so you can see it is flashing, and if I hit the flash button again and again, it will increase the speed of the flash a couple of times. And the last button on here is the timer button. I'm not really going to mess with that, but you can use that to set it to automatically turn off and possibly automatically turn on too. I'm not sure on that part. And right here in the middle of the flash and timer selections, there's a little speed button too, and hitting that speed button, you can increase the speed of the rotation or decrease the speed. And I like this a lot. I like it moving faster. I think it looks really cool when you have the dots moving really fast like that. So that's pretty cool. You can make the dots move fast, and you can make them strobe fast at the same time if you wanted to have maybe a faster paced laser light show for like a party or something. So far I like everything I see with this laser projector. One thing I do need to test out is the range of the remote and the antenna. So I'm going to pull out the antenna, and I'm going to go maybe about 50 to 60 feet away, and I'm going to test out if I can still use the remote and use it to completely control this device. Okay, so I just did the distance test from around 60 feet. I didn't measure it, but it's probably roughly about 50 to 60 feet. And I'm not going to include that footage because it just looks so dark you won't be able to see a single thing really, but it did function completely. It was completely responsive, and the remote had complete control over the device from that range. And that's the approximate range that you would be using this, maybe say from your house to your yard, or from one end of your yard to the other end. I had complete control over the device. So I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of move on to the reviewing aspect of this laser light. And I really liked everything about it. It definitely performed its water resistance, and it was completely functional. It's very durable, it's full metal, and the construction feels very solid. All the little dots are very bright, and it functions very well. I like how it has so many different modes because it can be used for a number of different applications. You could use it if you wanted just something slow, or you could use it for something fast like a party, and you could use it for a dance floor. And it really just added a really cool effect, and it would be a great replacement to traditional Christmas lights just because it's so easy to set up. You literally just plant it in the ground and aim it somewhere, and you have a beautiful light show on the side of your house. Now, I did have two little cons about this, and the first one's more of an opinion than a con. I do want them to spend a little more time on their box and maybe put some more color on it. It was basically just a cardboard box with the word Arotek written on it. And my only real con for this is the price. The price is a bit high, $80. I just worry sometimes because it is something, if you wanted to plant in your yard and leave it there and have it be an overnight Christmas decoration, I just worry that it being that expensive, $80, it could be targeted by thieves because it's so easy to really just steal. You would just have to run by and pull it out of the ground and unplug it from the extension cord. However, a thief would not be able to use it without that remote, so I'm not too worried about theft. But there are some other laser light projectors out there on the market that do cost a bit less, so I think they can get a bit more competitive with their pricing. That's just my opinion though. I like this product a lot and I'm definitely going to be using it for parties. I'll probably be using it for holidays as well. It comes in a number of different colors and I'm interested in getting that 3-color one as well, but it is a bit pricey. I'll put all those links down below in the video description. And one more thing I wanted to note is that they gave me a coupon code that expires October 30th, 2016. That is a $10 off coupon code, so you guys can save a bit of money, and you can make this $70 as opposed to the $80, but that does expire at the end of the month, so use that fast. But anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review of the Arotek Laser Projector Light. If you guys found this video helpful in any way at all, hit that like button down below, and if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for more amazing laser videos and product reviews just like this. And as always guys, thank you for watching from XM360.